Hey guys, Eric Borzeski here. Just wanted to do a quick video on weight forward versus getting the weight forward properly by having your hips forward. I have two videos here that I shot. These are both massively exaggerated, so don't read. They're useful for this, but again, massively exaggerated to show the point. In this first video on the left, I'm going to get my weight forward. Kind of odd. I'm kind of surprised I don't fall over here. Oh, even more. And what you're going to see in this is that my weight is forward. My hips have actually moved forward quite a bit. You can see relative to my stance and my ball. This is not what we want. You can see my weight is far enough forward I can almost lift my foot off the ground. Again, like I said, exaggerated. What you can see from this first one I stop. What you can see from this is that the club head will come down very steeply into the ball. Just going to draw these lines. Angle of attack will be through the roof high. Here, for example, shaft lean is 25 degrees, maybe 26. If I just trace these last few, we get to 28. Between the last two dots, we get 25 degrees again, which is about right. Those two numbers don't always match, but there's that. Here's an exaggeration of having the hips forward. Again, probably not as much as you'd think. 12 degrees there. 15 degrees there, so the hips are actually further forward in the swing on the left. What you don't see here is we have 6 degrees of axis tilt, but it's 5 degrees, call it. But it's going the wrong direction. I'll get impact on this on the right. What you're going to notice here is the angle of attack will be much smaller. That's a good one. We'll take that. It's a little high there, so we'll put that there. The angle in these last couple is 12, and it's in the process of shallowing out. The shaft lean at this point is 16 degrees, still more than you're going to get in a real swing. Again, the hips are well forward, but we get what we call secondary axis tilt. Here it's 23 degrees. This keeps the center of my swing between my shoulders still forward of center of my stance, but not outside my foot like we might see over here. Center of my shoulders is outside my foot over on the left. This is what we call this tilt back away from the target. Every good ball striker has this tilt back away from the target. You can see that's making a circle from right about here, kind of like that, whereas on the left we get more of this circle. You can see on the left, club is still going down well after the golf ball. And on the right, it's going level at the golf ball, or just after the golf ball, and very quickly starts to ascend. And we can increase the ascent by, jumping, straightening these knees, raising the level of the belt. That can increase the ascent of the club as well. But this is what we talk about when we talk about the getting the weight forward. You can still see I have, if I drew a line up the center of my stance, I still have a lot of weight forward, as opposed to too much weight forward done improperly. I still have a lot of weight forward, but I'm not overdoing the shaft lean. If you overdo shaft lean, you'll actually lose distance. You'll hit the ball low. You won't compress it very well. Hitting down on the ball too much won't actually compress the ball as well. If the club head is traveling down, that gets into spin loft and stuff. The path will be sent relative to your baseline way too far to the right in the left picture. So weight forward, this is, again, kind of ties into the hip slide thread that we have. Sliding your hips forward adds secondary axis tilt. You can see shoulders are tilted at 26 degrees, and here, even at impact, they're at whatever that was, 10, 11, 9. And that's only because the hands have gone so far forward. If I tried to get to this position but have my hands here, my shoulders would be level at impact or so, which would be a mess. So hips forward, not the head forward. Weight forward is an important part of striking the ball well. It'll help put the low point of the club just in front of the golf ball, which is what we want. But we don't want weight forward by moving our head forward. A lot of people will feel like this head is behind the golf ball or staying back. And it kind of is, because my head is not only on the other side of the point of rotation, kind of in there, but it's going to feel like it's behind, because if it's centered and every ball position except a wedge is just forward of center, our head will feel like it's slightly behind the golf ball. So slide those hips forward to get your weight forward, and don't let the head go forward like this, because that's just going to create a mess. And you'll be picking up some really, really heavy divots. On the bright side, they won't go very far, I guess. Those 4-pound divots that you're taking on the left, those big chunks of turf, unless you want to resod your lawn, then swing like the guy on the left. But I hope that video helped, and just shares a little more information about why the hip slide is important, creates a secondary axis tilt, helps shallow the hit because we don't want it to be too steep, and also helps get the club out of the ground with a shallow divot. If you're taking big divots, your ball position's too far back, back here where the angle of attack is like that, or your head's going forward, most likely.